Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a review of Tales of Wedding Rings, Season 2, Episode 2. Now, I want to cover Tales of Wedding Rings because, I covered this show of 2024 when it first aired. So now we're back now covering this season. Last week was the debut of Hime's sister, and her sister looks freaking amazing. Morion, she's amazing. Now, aside from that, this entire arc to begin is just your training montage arc. Understanding that the bond between the Ring King and the Five, Sato has a lot of chip on his shoulder. And yeah, he loves Hime so much, the Princess of Light, and others, Garnet, Nefertiti, Mansa, and Amber. These five have to increase their strength even more. And with the power of love, Sato and his five princesses are something else. Now again, this whole entire arc is just your run-of-the-mill training arc, where things gets a little crazy in this harem vibe. And yes, if you have seen the uncensored version, everyone is very smashable. Although my favorite is Nefertiti. I mean, if you guys want to post your comment about who's your favorite girl out of the five of the wedding rings, I prefer Nefertiti. Because I get it, she's an elf, she's old. I get it, she's the oldest, but she doesn't look old to me. Very, very confident in this one. I'm very confident in this one. Anyway, their journeys of bonding goals on this arc is just getting them a power up. He-Man got a power up, so now we got to get study more. And this is the episode where we can finally know the truth about the Ring King, the entire backstory of the Ring King and his true purpose in life. Also, we're back in the library, home of the elves. I feel like it's like recapping of season 1. Nefertiti was the second woman. So again, you're going back. So without further ado, let's get right through it, the review of the Tales of Wedding Rings, Season 2, Episode 2. Okay, now, let's call it like it is. So they went back to the elves, where the elves are very knowledgeable, by the way. There's an entire library, and we got to see Nefertiti's brother once again. It's funny. I forgot about him because he was so... I forgot how obsessed that he is protecting Nefertiti. Like, he reminds me of Gouge from Black Clover, and he also reminds me of Yuri from Spy X Family. You know how they both kind of like have a true love for their sister, like how Yuri is to Yor. You see what I'm saying? Like that. I'm looking at Nefertiti's brother, and it's the same damn thing. So obsessed. So obsessed. It's like Gouge from Black Clover. Same damn thing. So they go into the library. And we got to see the Dark Elf once again. She is still freaking gorgeous. And not only that, one thing about this episode, everyone, is that we finally revealed the truth. This episode kind of gives us a rundown of how the Ring King came what he is, and how it passed down to the others. So let's sum this up. So we got into the library, and everything was fine. The elves' library is nothing but everything encyclopedia related, even not only how to cook, but also how every species reproduce. Like every species reproduce. How they make babies or whatnot, and I think that's something they should learn about, because you always want to know how Satou makes out with all the other species, like the cat, that like with Garnet, Masa, Amber, what they do. But it's kind of a funny segment. So anyway, we find out that the Dark Elf in this was the first princess, and inside that library is a memoir of her book and the Ring King's hand. How it all started out, what this seems. So here's the thing. The Ring King was very powerful, and he goes on a journey to get all the princesses from each let me just say this, each region he goes to every place, get a region. He gets a water dragon, he finds a troll, he goes to a Cadian, he goes to a regular human, an elf, 5 different species. It's like to sum it up, it's like catching 5 Pokemon. Matter of fact, let me sum this up even better. Him and his journey going for these princesses is like Sekirei. You got a water type, you got a fist type, you got a plant type, you got a wind type, you got a fire type. This is what it is. So he goes on these journeys and gets these first 5 princesses, and each princess had one princess was smart, one princess focused on love, one princess focuses on power, you know? It was kind of like that. But the Ring King was so obsessed with power, it also leads to sex. So his routine, the king's routine, was fighting, sex, fighting, sex, fighting, sex. It's like he got this strong harem going on. But due to that, it had consequences. His desire for greed, or whatnot, led him feel like over lusting for these five that he don't give a fuck about the woman. You know what I mean? And watching his backstory, it's like he's been the villain all along. The Ring King has been the villain all along. And what makes this even worse was that this guy wasn't just like ordinary Ring King. We thought he was just a king. No. He's just a regular person who happens to just find a ring and just used it. It wasn't just by like chosen ones in shows like, hey, you're the chosen one. No, he literally just got the ring. And he was just a regular person who just happens to find a ring and just went on a journey thinking about like, okay, I got the ring. Now, if I get all five from each piece, I get stronger and stronger and more desirable for lust and all that shit. It's like him having all 7 deadly sins in his body. Now, before that, the women who find him so obsessed over sex and fighting or whatnot, not care about love or whatnot, and he's not treating them fairly. The wind, all four out of five. And I said 4 out of 5 because the light wasn't. The wind and everybody, the wind, the fire, the water, and the earth, they all cut off his hand. And before he left, he saw the sadness in the light princess, so much so that his final words were, the light princess will be the first one to find the next Ring King. And the thing about the light princess was that she felt sorry for him. All 4 of the women don't give a crap about him. But the princess of light felt sorry for him. So much so that the Ring King was like, okay, I will be the one. Okay, I will, the next light princess will find the soulmate first. So it wouldn't happen anyway. Anybody could be the soulmate. The fire could have been the first one, or the water, or earth. But the light princess was not. So after the first king and whatnot, generation moves on, time passed on to the point Hime is the princess of light. And now she has that big responsibility now that she knows what the truth about the princess is and whatnot. But Satou is now that, because now Satou feels like he might end up like the Ring King, the former Ring King. I mean, if you think about it, the Ring King was all about power and sex. Doesn't care about the women. Doesn't care about that. All he wants is fight and get laid. And for Satou right now, he feels like he's gonna be part of the Ring King. Now, but we all know Satou ain't that type of person. We all know he ain't. So we're not surprised by that logic. We ain't surprised. Now as they leave, the Dark Elf, gorgeous by the way, literally closed the doors. Like they ain't nobody. I like her because she knows something going on. So when she closed the door, she's like, okay, none of y'all ain't gonna do it. If y'all wanna open the door, you guys gonna have to fool around. In order to make them stronger, they have to increase their bond even more. Yeah, Satou and the bond for the five princesses he has are great. But to make it bond even better, one has to like get full around, So they head to the Dark Elf room and there's nothing but 18 plus stuff. I mean, anything you see in websites that you guys know what we're talking about, and I'm trying not to say it, but yeah, you guys get what I mean when you walk into that door and you see nothing but toys. Yeah, I'm gonna say that line, toys, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink. Okay. And they had a one bed, and everyone agreed, like, okay, I don't care. I'll smash whatever I want. Like, everybody's okay with it. Now, to increase their bonds, we gotta draw straws in this one. And the order, here's the thing about the order. Before the order, I knew that I knew Hime was gonna be last, but I really wanted Nefertiti to go first. I ain't gonna lie to you. I wanted Nefertiti to go first. Another head of my thought was, I thought they're gonna be in order based off Satou's order that they meet. You know what I mean? Like, if you go back to season 1, Hime was first, Nefertiti was first, Garnet was third, Masa was the water one was fourth, and Amber was fifth. So then I thought I thought it was gonna be like that, but in reverse, where that was gonna happen. But when they draw straws, Amber was first, the water was second, Nefertiti was third, Masa was fourth, and then Hime was fifth. That order was kind of switchable, but with between the fire and wind, I thought they were gonna switch that up, but I like that order is there. So now that that's settled, we're gonna see a very emotional bonding exercise where everybody share Satou one at a time. This is a bonding exercise, guys, and the best way to get everyone to bonding is where through hugging and kissing. But this is a bonding exercise, guys. So again, what can go wrong? But overall, though, for this, I like this episode because we finally get the history lesson of the Ring King. We all been talking about the Ring King since day one. And now we know the truth about the Ring King. He is very, very much just an ordinary person who became a villain all along. And to a point where we see his true actions. I always thought like maybe the Ring King was chosen by the wrath of God or chosen by fate. But no. It's like seeing this story reminds me of a Death Note situation. Like anybody, like if a Death Note falls from the sky, anybody could just pick up a Death Note and use it, good or evil. Anybody could pick that up. Like the Ring King, same thing. He was just an ordinary person who just happened to find an artifact and use it. So again, his actions has consequences, which led to what his demise. But now we know the truth. I do like that. And again, next week is going to be a bonding exercise. And the first person up is going to be Amber. So we're going to see where this goes. So I look forward for next week's episode of it. And let's see the bonding exercise of Satou and his girls. See you soon.